Welcome to the final boss, episode 4, Crucial Kristmases.
Crucial Kristmases.
Why did you say episode 4? We don't know what episode it is.
It's probably going to be episode 4.
Probably going to be episode 4.
Okay.
Welcome to Crucial Kristmases.
With Stomp Game.
Yeah.
Or Hanukkah, or Kwanzaa, or any other...
Crucial Kwan.
Kronsmas.
Crucial Kwanzaa.
Crucial Hanukkah Christmaka.
There we go. New title. Post that.
Done.
Alright, Mike, let's start with you
Okay.
since you have the best story.
No.
Alright, shy? Like,
I
be
was
shy?
I just figured we were gonna like shoot the shit and be like, dude, alright, this one Christmas I got like this, that, this, and that, this, that,
Well,
that,
yeah,
that,
you
that,
start
that,
with
that.
your story and then we'll rip off you.
Alright, well, I'm gonna tell a story about when I was 7. This is not the super epic one. I'll save that one for a little bit later. You can edit all that shit out because that's garbage anyways. Okay, and then... Alright, so when I was 7, I had a best friend, and his name was also Mike. And he managed to buy the Prima official strategy guide to the original Pokemon Red and Blue before he had the actual games. So every day after school, I would go to his house and we would study Pokemon before the actual game before we actually had the game. And literally every day, before the game was, I knew everything. I knew everything about that game before it came out, basically, in my mind. So, I'm chilling, and I'm like, man, I don't even have a Game Boy, like, I just really need one now, I want it, and Pokemon, and all that, and I still love Pokemon, don't get me wrong. But back then, I would wake up at, 6 in the morning, every morning to watch Beast Wars and Pokemon, and then there was another show on after that, but obviously it wasn't that important. And, so Christmas rolls up, and, we're getting gifts, and it's all filthy, and, everybody's getting clothes, I got some underwear, so I do every year. And the next thing I know, presents are over, and I'm just like, what, dude? Like, I didn't get it. All I got was like, what? Wait, seriously. Santa, dude. You forgot one, bro. So anyways, like, Christmas is over, like, fuck, dude. All I got was, like, some boxers and, like, some Legos, and Legos are filthy stuff. And, alright, so then the next thing I know, my dad just comes out and he's like, oh, Santa dropped this in the entryway. Like, he did some just fatherly stuff, just like, oh, like, me and Santa are best buds, and he just accidentally left this in my wallet the other day. And the next thing I know, it's 2 boxes, and I open it up, and it's an original, well, not the very original, but it's a Game Boy Clear edition, because I wanted the clear one for some reason. It was filthy. And I got Pokemon Blue, and it's funny because I remember there's a tradition in my family where right after we open presents, we go and sled. No. I was not sledding anywhere. I was playing that game outside in the snow, inside drinking cocoa, laying in my bed. I seriously don't think I slept for like 5 days. I played Pokemon straight for 5 days. It was one of the best Christmases. Christmas Hanukkah Kai ever.
Where's the Kai coming from? I don't know what.
Mordekaiser. Mordekaiser's Christmas Spectacular.
There you go. Exactly.
Alright.
So that's one of my most memorable Christmases by far.
I'm a little jealous because, like, I never really had a chance to enjoy, like, or at least I don't remember, like, the Christmases where I got, like, awesome games, I usually got, like, Legos and clothes and, easy bake oven stuff because I was super into that when I was a kid.
That rules.
Yeah.
Making gummy worms and shit. Did you get?
Wait,
Grant
you
got
didn't
the
have a
creepy
creepy crawler set. You had
Grant
an
got
easy
it.
bake oven.
Grant got the creepy crawlers. I was the one that got the easy bake oven because I wanted that.
Okay.
That's fine. So we kind of never really traded off. I usually just played with the easy bake oven, but Grant had the creepy crawlers.
Shoutouts to Grant.
Shoutouts to Grant.
Okay. Anyways, but the reason why I didn't really get those video games, I feel like we're still on the topic of my Easy Bake Oven. Should I just talk about my Easy Bake Oven throughout the podcast?
Yeah.
Let's just talk about...
That sounds like a Crucial Christmas to me, for sure.
Well, okay, I do remember this one time. We went over to, like, some family friend's house and whatnot, and it was like, oh, it's Christmas time, like, let's give the kids some presents. So Grant got some, like, really cool thing. I forget what it was, but it was definitely something really awesome. I was like, I want that. But then, like, when I opened up my gift, it was, like, more recipes and, like little packets of Easy Bake Oven stuff, and I was just like, are you fucking kidding me? I guess I'll keep playing. I guess I'll keep making.
This is cheap.
I'll keep making little tiny cakes. I guess like just feel like a giant while I'm playing Star Fox 64. But yeah, like, and the reason why I never really got like the video game experience during Christmas is because I usually just bought those throughout the year. So I was just like, I don't want to wait till Christmas. Fuck that. I'll just buy them.
I feel bad.
Yeah.
I was not that fortunate. I never had no money to buy my games throughout the year.
Yeah.
I tried.
Yeah, saving up money was hard as a child.
I just remember back when there was no game reviews and I kept buying games.
Well, that's because back in the day, they just kind of like flooded the market with like fucking anything, and you just be like, man, fuck all that.
Yeah. Remember the game Dark Rifts? No, you don't.
Yeah.
You shouldn't.
You tried to sell me that game and you were done with it.
Yeah, which was like.
Hey, you want to buy Dark Rifts? I got it for like $25. I'll sell it to you for $20.
It's because I was like, this is a ripoff.
Hustling, dude. He's seriously on the grind right now. It's so tight. I'll buy it for $25. Face value, son.
Face value.
God. Tyler, any crucial Christmases?
I know it's cliche, I just remember the Christmas where I got my N64. Because, I mean, I had that moment ripping open the packaging and just screaming Nintendo 64, plugging that shit in, playing,
Mario 64.
No, it wasn't even Mario Kart. My
Mario
first game for
64?
that was Mortal Kombat Trilogy.
Whoa!
Yeah,
Solid.
I didn't even have the full Mario experience till... Actually, I never even owned Mario 64. My neighbor had Mario 64, so I played that for a while, and then I knew I wanted an N64, so I got that. Can't even... I think one of the first games I got was probably Diddy Kong Racing.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that game.
That game was crucial, and
Absolutely.
I definitely 100% completed.
Yeah.
I didn't do it. My neighbor Jeff did it, but he got me that clock, and he was completely OP and just made that game unfair for anyone else.
He was...
No, my old friend Jeff Padilla.
Oh, shout out to Jeff Padilla wherever you are, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully you see this on Facebook.
The first game I actually played when we got our N64 was Rave Race. And that game,
Wave Race!
Oh, yeah.
that was
Riding a dolphin.
Follow
game
that
was my
dolphin.
jam. I loved Wave Race so much. And the funny thing is, like, I liked Mario Kart back in the day for the 64, but now I just fucking hate it. It's just not fun for me anymore. I'm sorry. I know that's like kind of like a big no-no, but I just don't like
It's
it.
not a big no-no. I think a lot of people just took that, like, tried to take that game to the next level where they're just like, oh, we're going to play this, like, competitively. It's just like, stop. Like, can we just have fun with it for 1 second?
Didn't play it competitively, but we did turn it into a drinking game, so.
That's not competitive. That's just cool.
That was
that's
awesome.
just respectable. But I don't know. I feel like people are just like, oh, I'll money match you at Mario Kart. It's just like, stop. I'm not gonna pay you money to beat my ass.
Come on,
at
I'll play you
Mario
a double
Kart.
dash.
Oh, jeez.
Why would
I'll
I be-
drift all over you, son. On the GameCube. Worst experience at PAX was entering a Mario Double Draft tournament, having never played that game before. We were just looking for something to do. It was my first PAX, and we just walked into a room like, hey, Double Dash tournament. We're like, let's try. And we got 8th place, like, and lapped terribly.
Wow.
Yeah. I'll money,
Baird could not figure out how to boost.
I'll money match you at Quap.
Oh, I'll quap you any day.
Yeah, right. I got a whole like 8
Dude,
point.
Did you guys see that YouTube video of Quap trying to have
Dude,
sex?
I can beat Quap.
No, you can't.
Yes,
No, you
I
cannot.
can. I can beat Quap, and I can even hop at the end.
This
Not
is
even the
so-
people that made Quap can beat
Dude,
Quap.
it's easy. Like, he doesn't look like he's running, but he, like, shifts on his knees all the way down the thing.
About right.
Yeah, that's bullshit.
No, I'll prove it. I'm gonna put up a
This is
video.
irrelevant.
Yeah.
Crucial Christmases.
Tangent!
Back to the season of giving.
Mr. Blacklands, what about you, man?
I have to say my biggest... all my stations that I ever got, I never got them on a holiday. They were always like a hand-me-down from someone or another, because I never got them anywhere when they were relevant. I always got the game station, like, when the newest one came out, someone would be like, oh, here you go. It's like,
the game
oh,
station.
the PlayStation 2 just came out. Here, have an SNES. And I was like, cool. That's not what I wanted, but okay, cool. I still get more games.
Yeah.
And so the only one that I got timely was the N64. And I just remember I probably didn't sleep for like 4 days. I think I beat Mario in 4 days.
Jeez.
We just sat there and played it for 4 days straight. It was just me and my sister would just pass it off the entire time. Tell us to go to bed, we just turn off the TV, go to bed, wait till they were asleep, come back out, on the TV again, playing our game.
Oh yeah. That reminds me of the hand-me-down thing. I have a nephew. His name's Christian, and he's like probably. I don't want to say he looks up to me, but he definitely looks up to me, you know? So, alright. So basically, like, he would come over, and let's see. Dang, he was born when I was 9. So, that makes him
Math. No. Yes.
Dang, you're 14 now. Anyways, and I remember one Christmas, he always used to come over and he would always play my video games. And most of the time I was just cool with it because I was on the computer by then. I was playing Counter-Strike, just being an older uncle and not hanging out with my nephew like I should have. Anyways, so, you know, he would be playing like... He'd come over and he'd play on my PlayStation, my original PlayStation, and, you know, he'd be playing, like, the Mega Man X games and stuff like that. Great choice, you know? Mm. And then, you know, at one time Christmas came up and I was like, dude, I don't play PlayStation anymore. I don't need this. So I seriously, like, I just gave it to him. I gave him, like, most of my games, too. And I just remember him being, like, ecstatic. Like, the amount of joy of giving someone a game system doesn't even close to outweigh the amount as getting one, but it still feels really good, like, yeah. For sure. And I don't know, he's just, I freaking love that guy, you know?
Yeah.
I was like, dude, you deserve this. Like, that's why, like, looking back on it, like, there's such a collective aspect now. People want to collect games, and, like, I respect it, but at the same time, like, dude, I barely even play most of the games I own now. So, in retrospect, I don't regret giving away most of my older games anyways, because I know he'll enjoy them way more than I would.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. That was just... That's what Blacklands' story reminded me of.
Yeah. I mean, I can agree. I mean, at the same time, like, I can't, because, you know, like, I'm doing the whole collecting thing right now, because, I mean, it's the reason why I buy comics, you know, like, I just like having those copies of cards. Plus, you know, I always feel like a dick whenever I use emulators because, you know, I mean, I used to do that. Obviously, everybody does that. But, I mean,
especially for the obscure games.
Yeah. I mean, for some of the Famicom games that just, like, you can't find, like, Endless Duel. Like, that game is filthy as shit. But, like, good luck finding that, you know, like...
Is that the Gundam game?
Yeah, it's the Gundam fighting game.
So good.
Yeah, it's so fun. Like,
that was my first emulator game I ever played.
Yeah, me too.
Was that even ported to US?
No.
I don't think so.
Okay,
no.
That's what I thought.
That was only a Super Famicom game.
Yeah.
Same thing with, like, what? Mario RPG? Like...
No, that one was here.
That one was here?
Yeah, it was just incredibly hard to find.
Okay.
It wasn't that hard to... You could buy it, like, when it first... Yeah, nowadays it's super hard to find. When it first came out, it was everywhere. Like, cause it was like one of the most rented games at Blockbuster. And that's why like I had to go out and just buy my own copy because I was sick and tired of like renting it and then I'd return it, not be able to rent it, go back, try and find the right Super Nintendo game that I rented the first time, and then on top of that someone would erase your save file.
Man, do you guys remember going to Blockbuster and renting games? Like Game Boy games and Super Nintendo games? Like that's such a thing that like
I remember
kids these days, I hate to sound like an old like ass, but like kids these days have no idea like what that shit's
It
about.
just comes in the mail, bro. I don't know. This is where
Like,
It's GameFly. I can just download that game off the internet. There was no internet to download things from.
Yeah.
There was Sega Channel, and if you had a Sega, you could go to Sega Channel.
Yeah.
But you still had to have parents that were nice enough to spend
Yeah.
the $14.95 a month for the service and the other $20 a month for internet. I think it was actually more than that.
Yeah, however much internet cash cost back when it was $56K.
Well, I guess getting back to the whole Christmas thing, like maybe not video games, but are there any like board games you guys got for Christmas that you remember?
I got Pokemon Monopoly one Christmas.
Pokemon Monopoly.
Monopoly.
I got
as I would like to call it.
I would actually
Pokemonopoly.
get some. I remember a couple years where I asked for Magic the Gathering booster boxes. Like I remember getting a box of Onslaught, Judgment, and what was it? It wasn't Torment. It was Legions, the ones where it was all creatures. That was a crazy deck because they're like, you like slivers? Everything's
now you do.
Yeah, now you do. But yeah, it was. Oh man, that's
You like things that go with things?
Yeah.
There you go. Have them.
I know we already went away from this, but on the topic of renting games, I have an extremely embarrassing story and confession, actually.
Go for it.
When I was a kid, and actually still to this day, if you put me in a section of video games, I have to poop. I am not even joking you. My whole body gets way too excited. Because not even in my mind, in my subconscious, subconscious.
You read the first
Whatever, dude. I just have this feeling that all these video games are mine, and I just have this wall of video games to now play. And I remember I would seriously have dreams about going to Blockbuster, and then them locking the door and being like, "All these games are yours. Have fun." And I would just wake up with that feeling of just pure ecstasy. And I'm just like, video games. And I would open my eyes and I would look around like, "Where's my games?" And then I would just get so bummed. But seriously,
Dude, let's bring you back to Blockbuster.
if you just take me to Target. I seriously was at Target I was at Target 3 days ago, and I looked at video games. And I was like, "Well, we gotta go." I know that's funny, but I'm not joking.
Yeah, I know you're not joking. That's why it's funny.
So embarrassing. Now the whole world knows.
But it's
Because
adorable.
everybody.
Because just like,
but
that's a good thing though. Like, if you ever are constipated, we know exactly what to do. Like, dude, Mike's
So, like,
constipated.
we gotta take you to Blockbuster.
Yeah, take him to Target, Stat, Walmart.
just show up with a fat stack of games. You're like, "What, Mike?" And I was like,
Go.
"Oh, I gotta go."
So there you go. That's a good thing.
That's pretty relevant to Christmas.
Bam, changing topics. Games that you looked forward to coming out. Now let's tell stories about when they met your expectations and when they completely failed them.
I guess I'll try not to talk about Beautiful Katamari again.
I'm gonna start it off with, okay, a long time ago when EGM used to be a magazine, there was this rumor article about how apparently Squaresoft was going to be working with Disney on this new weird-ass RPG hybrid thing, and it was a picture of Cloud's body with Mickey Mouse's head on top of it, and I remember reading the article, I was like, oh, okay, I'll store that in the back of my mind. Years later, Kingdom Hearts starts coming out. All of the magazines are just flooded with all of these amazing-looking pictures and gameplay of all your favorite Disney people, and then there's the story, and you don't know what to make of Kingdom Hearts exactly before it came out. It was just this, is it really going to work? How do you mix Disney and Final Fantasy at the same time? But I highly looked forward to that game, and it was so well worth it.
I love Kingdom Hearts.
No way.
I hate that franchise, though, with all my heart now, just because...
Now you do, but before you didn't.
Well, because the reason is they're like, all right, we'll make Kingdom Hearts 1. All right, we'll make this Game Boy Advance game to like kind of tie the story in. All right, here's Kingdom Hearts 2, and then they're just like, let's see how many games we can make before we finish the trilogy. And we're going to rape you of all your money and tell you how every single game is 100% important if you want to understand anything for the third game that's never coming out.
It's gonna come out. They're working on it right
They're
now.
probably just
They've been working on it since 2
and
came
it's
out.
gonna be worth it.
2 came out when I was in middle school. I am 23 now. It's not coming out. It's
I'm
Diablo.
25 and I'm still waiting.
Listen.
I'm holding out the hope.
It's Diablo 3. That
No,
game
no,
is Duke
Diablo
Nukem
3
forever.
came out, and so did that game. So it's gonna come out. But stop proving me right.
Diablo 3 is awful, though. So
Okay,
when it
I
does-
didn't say it
when
was
it
good.
does come
It
out,
doesn't
it's-
matter if it's good.
No.
It's gonna come out.
No, when
And
it
it's
comes
gonna
out.
be worth the hype.
No,
It's
see,
gonna
the thing
be
is, it doesn't.
the
It does
worst.
matter if it's good because it's a Duke Nukem Forever situation all over again. Because they're making people wait. They're hyping it up, and like
Okay,
when it finally
but
does
all of
get
the
released,
installments have been so good. Okay, if you took the time to play them, they're good.
Just give me the fucking third game. I'll play that shit, and I don't give a fuck about everything in between at all. I don't care how many fucking nobody, shadowy, friggin' key baby figurine children, little Odyssey creatures you have to make of me. Just put me in Sora and let me beat fools over the head with a giant key, and then kiss Tifa. That's all I want to do.
you heard it here first, folks. Mike wants to be inside of Sora
While kissing Tifa.
while kissing Tifa. That's kinky. Mike, you have something to say?
Oh yeah, we already mentioned 2 games that I definitely was sitting there waiting for with patient expectation for 13 years. Diablo 3, StarCraft 2. No, that one wasn't so much a disappointment, but it wasn't the same.
No.
It wasn't. It doesn't have that same feel that StarCraft 1 had, and it just can't because of the nostalgia value. But I mean, that was one of my favorite games when I was a kid. So you can't. You can't replace a classic. It doesn't work always.
Yeah.
One of the
Diablo 3 just sucks.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just say it again.
Shut up, Mike.
Everybody say it once on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Diablo 3 sucked.
Wah, wah.
Okay, so this guy, Jossum, the entire time before Diablo 3 was coming out, was preaching how bad it was going to be and he wasn't going to buy it. And then it finally comes out and all of us are like, oh yeah, Diablo 3 is awesome! Mike, you should be playing with us! And then a month later, we all stopped playing. We're like, yeah, Mike, you were right.
Yes!
You saved your $60.
You heard it, Internet. I am $60 richer than all you fools that bought that game.
Except for the people who bought that game and then sold items on their weird...
Nobody sold items.
Yeah,
Only
so-
a handful of people were able
Yeah.
to sell items.
I'm saying there's that handful of few people that, they actually might have made money on that game. Until it crashed China. That was weird.
There's 2 games that actually disappointed me when I was waiting for them to come out. One of them was the first Guild Wars, and I was actually looking forward to that because I was like, oh hey, like a more simplified MMO that's free to play, and like, it seems like they kind of dumbed it down and made it a little bit more casual. And I was like, oh yeah, this is cool. And then it's just filled with trolls that just get naked and dance down to their underwear. And it's just like, why are you doing this? Like, aren't we supposed to be questing or something? But another one that came out more recently that I was super looking forward to playing was PlanetSide 2, and I've heard nothing but really bad things about it. I heard that instead of free to play, it's pay to win, and this is actually something that we have to talk about eventually. I guess we'll just
Continued in episode 6.
talk- Yeah.
Turn the track over.
When you hear them,
But yeah, I heard that. Okay, so I watched
Your record.
the the Angry Joe Show review of it, and apparently it takes over 100 or 200 hours of gameplay to get enough points to buy one gun on one character that's non-transferable, that you can't that you can only have on that one character and on that account. You can't transfer it to a different character you have. You can't do anything fancy. And if you want to make it look different, because apparently all the models look the same, and I saw some of the stuff and they really do look all the same. It's kind of like early World of Warcraft when, like, the devs would just be lazy and they just wouldn't, like... You know, this is one of the things you actually told me about. It was like, you would notice that the devs were really lazy, and, like, one of the weapons was just, like, reskin. And you could totally tell that all the polygons were the exact same.
Yeah, they still do that, and it's part of like a tier thing.
Yeah, but the thing
I get
is-
what you're saying.
Yeah, but like apparently it's just pay to win, which is what Blacklight Retribution was, which is why I stopped playing that. And now my boner just went down for PlanetSide 2, you know. And I loved the first one; it was perfect, it was great. Why did they stop it? Like with City of Heroes, it just doesn't make sense. I don't get it.
City of... Just read the blog.
Okay.
Speaking of boner killers and gaming disappointments, and how much GameStop sucks,
Whoa, says the guy with a premium GameStop card.
Hey, that was for a buy two, get one free coupon.
Worth it or not?
And a Game Informer subscription.
Worth it.
Which is well worth it.
Worth it.
So, long ago, when I used to trade in my video games, when I thought it was smarter to trade in games you didn't play much to get new games, I traded in like $100 worth of games. Pretty sure that included a copy of the Super Nintendo rare find Ninja Gaiden Trilogy, which had all 3 Ninja Gaiden games in one. Which they totally gypped me on because that game is worth like $120 now. They give me probably $50 for it. Anyway, I got like $100 of trading value, and then the guy is like, "Oh, hey, you should check out this cool new Pokemon game." I was like, "Oh, I love Pokemon. I'm a kid." He's like, "Oh, yeah. It's called Hey You Pikachu. It's awesome. You use a microphone and you talk to Pikachu. It's amazing. It's the future. You're going to be talking to all your N64 games." So, of course, like an idiot, I buy that game.
I thought you
After about an hour, I was just done. I tried selling it back, and I got like $15 for it.
I don't know why I'm raising my hand on them. But so Dreamcast, Seaman. Does anybody remember that game?
I never played it, but I remember seeing
Okay,
it.
the only good thing about that game was Leonard Nimoy was the voice of Seaman when he grew up. But like, I understand what you're talking about because they did the same exact thing. Like, you could actually talk to him, which was cool. But it was just like, once you finally finished like growing him, there was like no point to play the game. Like, he would just give you advice on stuff, and it was kind of like a Magic 8-Ball. Like, you would just say something, he would just give you like a canned response.
canned vague response.
Don't doubt the 8-Ball.
We're not doubting 8-Balls. We're doubting
Leonard
Seaman.
Nimoy.
No. We
No.
would never doubt Leonard Nimoy.
That's what it sounds like.
I thought you were going to say that you got Pokemon Snap for that.
Hey,
That game
Pokemon
is
Snap,
fun.
I beat Pokemon Snap from Blockbuster. The day after I beat it, I got it for Christmas and re-beat it that night. I loved the shit out of Pokemon Snap. So much so that I loved when I tested it at Nintendo.
Testing old.
It was Virtual Console. They had to re-release it. We used to do... I'll save that.
Yeah. We should get back to Christmas because I think we just did 2 podcasts in one.
Whatever.
Alright, so...
That's just Christmas is chapter 1. And then games you look forward to and tangents is chapter 2.
Alright, well you can just copy paste this in wherever you want it. So basically, best Christmas ever. I lived in Idaho at the time, and this was the year after I got my Game Boy. And all my family lived in Eastern Washington, so it was like a 2-hour drive to their house, and we would always spend Christmas there. Again, we'd always go sledding, blah, blah, blah. And I remember I was like, alright, last year, Santa Claus totally tricked me by leaving that gift in my dad's wallet. And so I'm like, alright, well, let's see what Santa does this year, right? So we're friggin', doing the Christmas thing. My cousin Luke's giving out all the games, being a boss, or giving out all the gifts, my bad. And, I open my stuff and get boxers again, and, like, some socks, like some Legos. I'm just like, Legos are really cool. And that's it, right? And I'm just like, oh, yeah, that's real funny, man. That's real funny. Like, seriously, you didn't get me at all,
Yeah.
And then, for real, though, that was it. And I'm just like, dude, I was like legitimately kind of like offended. I was like, Santa, dude, you got my cousin Jen all this makeup, and, like some cool like 90s girl clothes, and you got my cousin Luke like beer or whatever 17-year-olds liked back then, and like the next thing I know, like we're driving home, you know, and I'm just like, my dad was just like, how's Christmas? How's your Christmas? And I was just like, yeah, it was pretty good. I didn't want to be that guy and be like, it was awful. I didn't get anything I wanted. Because seriously, what kid does that? I probably said that though. And so we're driving home. It's just this long drive, and then we get home. My dad's just like, we're like unpacking our stuff or whatever. My dad's like, Michael. I'm like, yeah, Dad. And he's just like, there's someone under the tree. I'm like, what do you mean?
Like, when did your voice change?
Well, it didn't sound like this when I was
Hey, Dad.
Oh, hey, Dad.
Hello, Father.
What is left under the tree that I might open? Anyway, so I go to the tree and it's a giant box and it says my name on it, and it says from Santa, and there's a fat letter about how like Rudolph screwed up something and it fell off the sled, and just thanks for the cookies. Like, we still left cookies and milk out even though it was like at our house.
By the way, before you finish, how much fun do parents really have doing shit like that on our presents?
It's offensive, actually.
It's weird. Like, I got presents from Taco sometimes. Like, Rowdy would give me presents.
To fill you in, Taco was a dog.
Was a dog.
The best
Unfortunately,
dog.
she passed away
Taco
a few years ago. Yeah, she was the best. But now I get presents from Rowdy and sometimes Elvis.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Also dogs.
Yeah.
Alright, so the next thing I know, I open it up and it is a Nintendo 64 with Mario Kart 64 and Wave Race. And I just remember trying to plug it in and figure it out, and me and my dad were just like super dumbfounded by it. And I also remember we were using the TV in their bedroom for some reason, and The Simpsons was on, and I wasn't allowed to watch The Simpsons, and it was the episode where Bart melts the tree, and so my dad's just hooking up the N64, and I'm just watching, like, smut, basically, like, to my parents, It was just like, hey, man, I broke down the Christmas tree, and whatever Bart says, and then eventually we get it working, and I just... It's the best feeling ever. I legitimately thought I got nothing for Christmas, basically. Like aunts and uncles and everybody's hooked it up for sure, but I thought Santa straight goofed.
Alright, side question. Did anyone else have that experience where a relative bought you a Game Boy game before you had a Game Boy?
No.
Yeah, I definitely had.
Yeah.
I also had the experience of getting a CD before I had a CD player.
Those were always the worst.
I was like, oh great, this is helpful. I can't listen to this.
The best part about getting a Game Boy game before you had a Game Boy was you knew the next holiday coming up, that's what you were going to get.
Yeah. It's something to look forward to. It's like, oh, here we go.
It's like,
I got a year.
I can't play this. This is a wasted present. What's going on here? They're like, oh, don't worry. It'll come.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. No, I know what you're talking about. That actually did happen to me one time. I forget what it was, but that definitely... Actually, I think that was with the Super Nintendo, which was even more messed up because I remember writing a letter to Santa, drawing super accurate pictures of exactly what I wanted. I was like, this is what a Super Nintendo looked like, and I like freaking stenciled the Target ad, like super accurate, and I was like, and I want Donkey Kong Country, and I drew it, dude. It was a masterpiece, and I sent it in, and they're like, "Oh, we got you Super Mario Brothers." I'm like, "I don't have a Super Nintendo." And they're just like, "Oh, well, oops." Just like, well, that sucks. And then the next thing I know, I mean, I got it for sure because I got everything I wanted.
And it's funny because like parents try so hard to be like in the loop with you and like try to understand like, oh man, like they would really like this, right? Like they can play this on their game station too, right? Like yeah, they can totally play Super Mario Kart on their N64 because that's just how it works, right? Like no, you just
trying to send your mom or dad to Hollywood Video or Blockbuster to get a game for you.
Bad idea.
The
Never do
worst
that.
idea.
Just like they always come back with, or they'll be like, "What is it you wanted?"
This is
something,
educational.
like the something something. Like yeah, that's it. That's the one. The something something.
I remember the first game I ever got because my computer bought my parents bought a computer when I was really young, and I remember playing Math Blaster. Or
Yes, Number Muncher.
Number Muncher.
I was
Oregon
Trail
Trail.
the numbers.
Dude, Oregon Trail was a cool game.
See, the first game I can honestly remember, out of all the games that I can honestly remember, is we had a Macintosh computer. That's how old school our computer was.
Sorry.
Yeah, but that was when the Macintoshes were brand new. So, I remember playing a game called Burn Barney. Yeah, that existed. That was a DOS game, and all it was essentially whack-a-mole with 9 different boxes, and you had a lighter. Just a Zippo. All you did was hit Barney with the Zippo. And he just... Done. You beat the game as soon as you burnt Barney once.
Best game.
Best game.
Best game. I'll money match you with that.
First one to burn Barney wins.
Yeah, exactly. Word. All right. Well, if you have any dope Christmas stories, because I know you all do, make sure to rate, comment, and subscribe.
Rate, like, comment, subscribe,
Rate.
please, to the podcast.
The Trollcast.
Troll.
No, but
The
seriously,
final boss.
but seriously, if you have stories, tell us, because, like, I don't know, just sitting here with 3 of my friends telling stories honestly brought back hella memories, and it's tight to talk about that stuff, so let us know some dope stuff you got. It doesn't have to be Christmas, but Christmas...
Birthdays,
Yeah.
Hanukkah, Christmas,
One time, Tyler...
graduation presents.
Tyler got a
Easter.
digital camera.
I did get a digital camera. When I graduated.
D-I-D-I-D-A-L.
Digital.
Digital. It was... We didn't get it for like 7 months, though, after that card.
I got a card that said I would get a digital camera. And 6 months later, I did.
Boy, that thing was digital.
Digital, get
You
down.
did it. I was thinking it. Oh my goodness.
Well, this is Raccoon Chad of Troll Stomp Gaming.
Fat Tyler 124 of Troll Stomp Gaming.
Jossum of Troll Stomp Gaming.
And we had a guest on, if you didn't notice, Black Lance of Wasteland Cinematica. Did you want to plug your little website?
Sure.
It's not a little website, man. It's my boy's site, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, guys, keep your eye out for that. It's going to be all sorts of great reviews for movies that you've never seen.
Awesome
And
movies.
you probably won't want to see.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
Although A Boy and His Dog is a good movie.
That is
I,
a good.
I actually.
I plan to review good and bad movies because it's boring.
Want to plug the website real quick?
Just do it yourself.
Well, it's wastelandcinematica.blogger.com so far. It will eventually be a .com website, but right now that's as far as we've gotten. So
Who are you working with?
I'm working with Hypercritical, and we should be having a lot of content show up there, and hopefully get further and further along with it. So look out for that.
Alright, check it out at wastelandcinematica.blogger.com. Alright, this is Raccoon Chat again, signing off with the podcast of...
Yes!
Yes!
Yeah!